what's your frame, your mindset around the result? Like, how are you looking at that? Like the person still shops you and they don't go with you. How are you avoiding feeling shitty as a result of that?
Yeah. And this is like a great transition into like how my first call goes with clients, right? So if we're talking, I'm like, hey, Tim, really the best way to start this conversation is tell me a little bit about where you're at in the process. Tell me like kind of where you're shopping, your price point, your down payment. From that, I'll ask you some questions. We'll go through my process as a team, who we are, who we're not, because at the end of the day, this is your journey to home ownership, not mine. Right. And so you use me, great. That's how I get paid. And if not, that's totally fine too. You're one step closer to finding your loan officer to buy your home. And what I found out with that was that, again, I don't control if they use me or not. I could say the perfect thing all the time, have the best scripting, have everything perfect, and they still don't use me. Well, that's a fleeting feeling. So I even talk about to the client what my core principles are. Right. I say like, well, what are you looking for in LL? They'll go through that. And I'm like, well, my core principles are education, coaching, and transparency. I'm going to win this conversation because I'm going to educate you on the process. I'm going to coach you to make the best decision. And I'm going to be transparent who we are and who we're not. So you can make the best decision for you. And so if that's the case, I'm going to win energetically because that's who I am. And I'm going to pour out into that client and then they can make their best decision from there. And I truly do not care if they use me, because I know that my authentic self is that person and I'm going to win. It's just a matter of when, not if. And if I go in this line and I keep going in that way, I'm going to attract the people that want education, coaching, transparency. They want someone on their side in that realm. I'm not a fit for everybody, and that's okay.
So I want to call to the attention of the listener a very important core principle of life, and we talked about this just earlier this week at the Masters Retreat for L360, which is our suffering comes from our attachment to the outcome. And what I'm hearing you say is that you're not attached to the outcome. You're attached to being you. You're attached to embodying these three core principles, and that you have decided to play a different game. And the game is no longer I write the deal and I lock the loan. The game that you're playing is I'm true to me, and there will be people that see the value in what I bring, and those are perfect people for me to work with, and it's going to be fun to work with them. And there will be people that are not going to see my value, and I'm going to let go and surrender those people to somebody else because they're not meant to work for me. Is that accurate?
Yes, very.
So, what's the result been since, how long have you been doing this for? And what has the result been both internally and externally for you?
So somewhat of this version has been a couple years, I would say, through Rel 360. Like 2024, for instance, I really went in this way. It's the least amount of leads I've had in 5, 6, 7 years. But my business went from, I think we did 35 million in 23 to 60 million last year with less leads. Mm. Energetically, I feel more balanced. I feel fuller. I feel more fulfilled. I feel like I'm really tapping into my true like inner self and my soul. I feel like I'm, most days like a great dad and a great husband and a great friend and LO and manager and all those stuff. Feels like I'm winning the day more because I'm tying it to something that where I used to tie it to stuff that I couldn't control. I'm tying it to stuff that I can.